All right. Hi, Allison. Welcome to our first session. How are you doing today?
I'm okay, I think.
Okay. Well, my name's Jessica. So I know that you were referred here for a little bit of anxiety issues. So I just wanted you to tell me a little bit more about that.
I feel like I get anxious an awful lot, and then I end up like I can't breathe really, and so then I've had to go to the hospital a couple of times because of it, because I get like my heart rate really goes all over the place, and I almost pass out, and and it's pretty bad. So I get these moments where I'd like to be able to, go out and do things like a normal person, but no, I just get really, just anxious and panicky and stuff, I guess.
So that sounds very scary for sure.
It's not often that I leave the house because of it. So
Okay. So you stay home a lot because of these almost like panic attacks.
I don't know that they're really panic attacks. I think there's something else going on medically, and that kind of makes it even worse. That just like I feel like there might be something else wrong, but the doctors haven't found anything else to indicate that something else would be wrong. But I'm not sure. I want the doctors to back me up a little bit on this, and I don't think it's necessarily a panic attack. I think there might be something else that's wrong, because I'll go out and try to, even just go to the grocery store, and then all of a sudden I can't breathe, and I get really just like overwhelmed at everything that's going on, and then I'll almost pass out. And it's that part that I just don't know that that's a panic attack. That's hard, but yeah, so I don't like meeting new people, because I don't know how they're gonna react to me, and I think that they're gonna be judgmental and stuff like that, and so it's harder to be social and things like that too. So I think that's kind of the big issue. So
it sounds like even just the thought of it causes a lot of anxiety too. Like the thought of going out and in the grocery stores and being around a lot of people and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I just don't know what's going to happen. Like I feel like there's always something like something bad's going to happen, or something's going to be wrong, or I'm going to do something wrong, or and so it just builds up, and then I have problems. So
So tell me a little bit more about why you went to the hospital the last few times. Was it when you were in the middle of one of these attacks, or was it just you were concerned after the fact? Or
no, most of the time it's like I'll have an issue, and then either my mom will take me, or I've had the ambulance called before too, when I wasn't with my mom. So I just kind of rely on them to tell me if I need to go to the hospital or not. But
And what has your primary care doctor said about this?
Well, that's part of why I was referred here, was that the doctor he has prescribed me some meds for it and things like that to try to help, and give me some sleeping medications and stuff to try to help me get through the night and stuff, because I'll have nightmares too. And so he's trying to help me with medications and stuff, but he referred me here because I don't think there's much more he can do. He just kind of writes the prescriptions, and that's about it. So but I tried to talk to him about doing other tests and stuff like that, and he's run a couple, but he says that there's nothing else wrong, and so I don't know what to do about that. But
so how's your sleep then? You said you had some nightmares.
I don't get a ton of sleep because I do have night terrors and stuff that'll happen, so I'll go like a week without really getting a lot of sleep, and then I'll sleep for like an entire day, and so that's been kind of challenging to sort of balance. And so these meds are supposed to try to help with me being able to get to sleep in the first place, but then what I find is that sometimes I'll get to sleep, and then I'll feel like I'm being attacked or suffocated, or I can't breathe, and so it kind of just it's like it doesn't go away even when I'm trying to just sleep.
Definitely. So when do you notice that, or when did you notice that all of this stuff started, all the panic and more of the anxiety increases in that?
I think that I kind of have struggled with it a lot since I was even a teenager, but it's been really bad over the last, I'd say, 5 years or so. So kind of mid-20s, I guess, was when I really kind of ramped up, and I just kind of taken over, I guess.
Well, what happened about 5 years ago? Was it like a specific situation that kind of pushed you further, or was it just a gradual climb?
I think some of it was just gradual because I think I've always had some of this. But actually, about 5 years ago, my parents got a divorce, and like a week later, my brother killed himself. And I don't know if it's associated or not, and I can't get my dad on the phone ever, so I don't know what's going on with him, but he just kind of like up and left and was decided he was done with us. And so I'm really I feel bad that my mom's kind of in this alone now, and I can't fix it. So yeah, so so I can't get a hold of my dad, and we had to go through all this process with my brother, and we didn't know anything was wrong, and so there's kind of this aftershock of like, well, gosh, he just up and did this, and there's no reason why really, unless if he was really that upset about my folks' divorce, but I don't know if something else is going on, but yeah, so but that's kind of all its own stuff. I don't know that has anything to do with this, but that was kind of a big life event back then, but anymore it's me and my mom now, and I can't imagine not staying with her and trying to help her out and stuff, and so that makes me feel even worse that I can't do these things on my own, and so I need her, she needs me kind of a things, and but yeah, I think that's kind of some of it maybe, but I don't know.
Okay, well that's a lot, so why don't we just kind of take a deep breath right now and just kind of be, aware of our presence here, and just kind of, reground with ourselves here. So I don't know if you can maybe kind of think of, how you're sitting in the chair, feel the chair back against your back, and kind of just think about this is where you're at right now. Just kind of take a few deep breaths and be really present. So.
Okay.
I know it's a lot to kind of share with me on a first session, so I appreciate you being open. And
sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, don't apologize. There's no reason to apologize for any of that, so I'm glad you shared.
Yeah.
Okay, so now that we've kind of, regrounded and got our breath back a little bit, so I'm glad you're seeing a doctor for some of these things, and it sounds like maybe some of the increases in anxiety and this panic and even the nightmares may have been coming over a little bit of a period of time, but maybe there was a kind of a precipitating factor that started about 5 years ago too that was a little bit traumatizing that maybe you haven't worked through all the way yet. So I think that would be good to continue coming to, to see me, or if you're not comfortable with me, we can look at somebody else and kind of work through some of those traumatizing factors that you're dealing with as well. I think it'd be really good to continue seeing your primary care doctor also, just because there might be some medical things, like how you were concerned about, there might be some medical things going on, and even just the long-term effects of some of the stress that you've had for years, could be really hard on your body also. So I think keeping up with him is going to be a really good idea for you as well. What are your supportive factors right now? What does your support system look like?
I don't have much of one. It's pretty much just me and my mom.
Okay.
My mom's kind of my lifeline in that regard. As far as other folks go, I have a couple of friends, but I can't really go anywhere. Kind of puts a damper on being able to spend time with them. And I had a boyfriend years ago, but with everything that was going on, he left. And so it's not like I have a romantic partner or anything. I do have a dog. His name's Darby.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah. So that's been nice too, but I don't know that really counts as a support thing.
For sure. I think so.
Okay. so that's about all I've got right now, though, between my mom and my dog and a couple of friends, but only if I can go outside.
Right. So how much do your friends and does your mom know about all this stuff that's going on? How much have you shared?
My mom knows the bulk of it because she's the one that kind of helps me get to and from things as I need and that sort of thing. Some of my friends know, but it's hard because if I tell my friends some of what's going on, they kind of disappear on me. So that's kind of really, that's where I've lost a lot of my friends anyway, is that we'll get to talking and it's like, oh, hey, I'm kind of a crazy person, and they leave. So, so unfortunately I don't have many friends, and I don't think I can talk to them about a lot of this stuff. So so it's primarily my mom that, again, she's always whenever I've been in the hospital, she's come to visit with me, and she's, you know, helped me get through treatment and stuff like that before. And so, yeah, I think she's been kind of my number one person, but yeah.
Good. Okay. Well, that's good. I'm glad that you have somebody that you can trust and that you feel comfortable sharing some things that are going on in your life.
Yeah, as long as it's not too overwhelming for her, because I know she's got her own stuff going on.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. And that's okay.
Yeah.
What kinds of coping strategies have you used in the past for when some of this anxiety just gets really overwhelming, or anytime that you have some of those panic feelings coming up when you're out in the grocery store or anything like that?
Well, if it doesn't get too bad and I'm able to like get back home, I spend time with my dog, and that normally helps calm me down a little bit. Yeah, it's kind of, let's see, what else have I done? Normally it's either I can get back home and try to calm down, or I've been taken to the hospital. But yeah, so I think my dog is a big help in that and kind of helping to calm me down. Sometimes I'll like look at pictures and stuff. I like photography.
Okay.
So I'll like look at pictures and things like that, like on the computer or in books and stuff like that. But I don't like social media stuff though. I think that stuff's I can't do that stuff. There's just so much on there. It's overwhelming.
Yeah, for sure.
So I don't try not to use those, but
counterproductive.
Yeah. But I try to, you know, if I'm out of magazines or things to look through, I might go online just to look at pictures and stuff. But yeah, so that's something that I know has helped before. If I kind of like almost like distract myself, but not really. I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah. Okay. So are you able to take Darby with you anywhere?
Only where he's allowed. I mean, if we go out to like sit on a patio somewhere or something, and he's allowed to be there. But more often than not, I don't know too many places that are dog friendly. And he's not like a therapy animal or anything like that. He's not. What are those dogs? Those support dogs,
like service dogs.
Yeah, those dogs. So he's not one of those. So I don't think he can just go with me places. But yeah.
Well, it seems like he's a pretty good support for you as well, and he kind of helps to keep you a little bit more calm and almost grounded. I know I keep using that term, so I'll talk a little bit more about that later too. But I'm wondering if that might be a good option or a good goal to get him therapyized.
Okay.
So that you can take him more places with you, and then he can be kind
cool.
of, you know, where he can just kind of be with you and help keep you a little bit more calm in the community too while you're doing some things that might be a good idea to pursue. And then back to the grounding thing, there's a lot of sort of research on grounding techniques where, because sometimes some of these panic episodes and the increased anxiety will give us these almost out-of-body experiences where we don't feel like we're in control on anything in our bodies. So that was kind of a little bit of what I had you do with the chair back, like feeling a chair against you, and that kind of brings you more aware into your body again. So that's where a lot of, like, you know how people carry around those like big heavy marbles or stress balls or something like that. That's a really good grounding thing, because that allows you to focus on something that is not the anxiety, and kind of brings you back into what this feels like. What is it? How heavy is it? What is it made of? Like the consistency, is it smooth, rough, like that kind of thing, and you can kind of focus on that. So I'm wondering if you have an object like that at home that you can carry around with you, or...
I'd have to look. I don't know. Like I know my mom has one of, it's like this little pocket angel thing.
Yeah,
it's like a little
like
token.
That.
So I'd have to, maybe I'd have to ask her to see what I could use. But.
Yeah, something you could just put in your pocket or something.
Yeah, or something. I don't know.
I know my sister actually uses rocks.
Oh, okay.
She likes cool, like, little rocks that she finds in the bottom of the river, and it reminds her of the mountains, and she puts it in her pocket, and she's really about all that grounding stuff. So
that's cool.
So that might help a little bit with just kind of like even just feeling it in your pocket, or you can pull it out and kind of look at it, see what it looks like, and that also helps with like visualization too, because I know that you really like looking at pictures and things like that. So maybe even something that you like to look at too, maybe just not even something you like to feel, but then you can kind of, you know, almost explain to yourself like what this looks like, what aspects does it have about it that you like, what's the color, what's the texture, like that kind of thing, and what it looks like. So using some visualization techniques as well.
Okay.
Another really big thing with increased anxiety and panic is breathing, because as soon as that system takes over in our bodies, it's really hard to control it, because it's like that fight or flight response, fight, flight, or freeze, where you either get really anxious and feel like you need to escape, like how you might feel in the grocery store, or you get vamped up to fight whatever it is that's causing you the anxiety, or you just kind of freeze, and that's where sometimes we get those out of body experiences. So the breathing really helps to kind of bring all of that back into almost like a balancing, like homeostasis kind of a thing. So when you're not feeling as anxious, that's a really good thing to practice, because then that can become more automatic to help to have it be easier to call on when you're actually in that panic episode, so that it's easier to kind of use when you're in that mode. And then as soon as you can kind of get that breathing back down, it'll help bring that fight or flight or freeze back down into the regular, like feeling normal again. Okay. Does that kind of make sense?
I think so.
Okay.
I don't know that I've ever tried it before, so I don't know how it'll work.
Yeah, so there's a lot of, and all we can do is really try, and then if something doesn't work, we'll try something else. And but the breathing exercise is really there, basically like how you hear people say, like, breathe in for 4 seconds, hold it for 2 seconds.
Yeah, like yoga.
Kind of like yoga. So do you do yoga or?
No, I just have seen it in pictures and stuff like that, and I've heard about it. I've got friends who've done it, or they do that, like, hot yoga something or other.
Hot yoga.
I don't think that sounds good at all. Being in a hot room sounds terrifying. But I don't think I'm stretchy enough to do yoga. So, but I've heard about it.
Yeah. So. Well, and the breathing exercises for sure are very helpful. So. I would say probably even just like, and we can practice a little bit right now. So if you, and you always want to breathe, like use your whole lungs too. So almost kind of think of breathing through your belly instead of up here. Because when we start hyperventilating, we're only breathing up here. So when you're breathing, you take the deep breaths all the way in through your belly instead of like taking a deep breath up here, because that makes us more tense. So you want to, you can even just practice by like holding your hand on your belly to kind of prompt you to, remind you to breathe in through your belly while you're practicing these exercises. So you can kind of feel your belly push your hands out as you're breathing in, and then hold it there for a couple of seconds, and then let it out slowly. Okay. And you can kind of do that until you come back to, like, your anxiety comes back down to until you're feeling a little bit more normal. Okay. Does that kind of sound like it would be helpful for you, or?
Maybe. I mean,
it's worth a try.
Yeah, I'm ready to try whatever I can.
Yeah, for sure. So. Well, why don't you go ahead and practice some of the grounding techniques and the breathing until our next session when we meet next week. And then I'll look into helping you figure out how to make Darby a therapy dog too, so you can take him more places with you.
I like that.
Great. Yeah. Well, thanks for coming in today, Allison. I appreciate you coming in and sharing all this with me, and I look forward to meeting you next week.
All right. Well, thank you.
Yeah, of course. Thanks.